Good afternoon. It is 5 p.m. on a Sunday afternoon. I'm feeling very Sunday-ish right now with the wind blowing against the van and the flickering lights against the wall. I've been blogging most of the day and just organising my thoughts, and now I'm a little bit exhausted. I don't think I could do any more typing. I don't really have to do any logistics or admin until the middle of the week in terms of trains and stuff. We've pretty much got everything else locked down apart from just the going out of the country phase. I am starting to build up that excitement now. I've been reading some blog posts from people who are also going to Steamfest, and I'm going to be using Anchor a hell of a lot to be doing little updates and little feedback from like a kind of transmedia on the ground kind of event coverage as a bit of audience development for Steemit, or indirectly for Steemit, just as an independent blogger, not actually for Steemit. But I'm excited to be using Anchor again. I finally got a new smartphone, or a borrowed smartphone, to record audio and do a podcast on. And I'm really interested in also pushing this to iTunes, set this up to so people can subscribe to it. I'm not sure how that's going to work out yet, because we kind of need to be able to upload audio to that RSS feed as well. I don't know if you can do the both. That'd be really nice to be able to have like a weekly show and there's like little clips like this to go in between. So I need to have a play with that. Anyway, good to be back. Yay. So one of the things that I will be doing mainly on my Anchor, I say me, I've got to start saying we. One of the things that myself and Dale at Dalio on Twitter will be doing is putting together a podcast on a number of topics, mainly around kind of cryptocurrency and digital working and the usual yada yada of digital nomads and that overused expression. But people who are basically living and working the web, I guess, is pretty much where we're at. But I'll be discussing a lot, especially over the next couple of weeks, about a platform called Steemit. I'm on that platform, steemit.com/@teamhumble, and it is a website where you get paid to blog. Now, you might have used a bunch of websites in the past where they promised you that they'd pay you and it was a bit of a mess. It didn't work, or it was buggy. I've actually been using Steemit now for 8 months and found a whole different side of the internet, different community, with a really receptive, great feedback, great community kind of vibe there. And also where you get the benefit of earning some cryptocurrency. And it's actually propelled me into learning a lot more about crypto in the last 6 months. Way more than what it was 4 or 5 years ago when I first heard about Bitcoin. And so I've been learning so much on that platform. I've got so much more to learn. And gradually, bit by bit, over the months, as the months pass, I'm slowly seeing a potential avenue to just be able to do this full time. And when I say do this, I mean content creation, create things on the web, creative projects that I am genuinely passionate about, rather than sitting in an office 9 to 5 or working for a client that might not necessarily come back to me, every single day, or I might only hear from them month by month. So, obviously I'm all in on this stuff, and I want to share that journey with you as I go. Now, I did have a Anchor account before, but I've not had a mobile phone or a smartphone that I can use over the last year, and it's only been recently when Dale came here to England from the US that I can use her spare iPhone 6 because she upgraded to the iPhone 7 Plus. So stoked about that. I actually have a decent supercomputer smartphone in my hands again, and this means that I'll be doing some more podcasting. So one of the real cool features I liked about Anchor now is it's got these episodes to be able to post as an RSS feed to iTunes. So I'm going to make up a bunch of different sections, and I'm going to post them as an episode and then try and get the RSS feed. And then I'm also going to start thinking about putting that on decentralized platforms, which I'm going to quickly talk about next. So you might have heard about recently, or if you're a YouTuber, you're definitely going to be feeling it, that the advertising side of YouTube is starting to have quite a profound effect on views and what videos actually advertisers want to advertise on. And so this is having a knock-on effect for people who've been using YouTube as a revenue stream. And I've been very, very interested in watching how that is changing, what with Twitch and YouTube doing live streaming, starting to see a lot of different ways that people are either earning or building their brand or cultivating their online audience. So one of the things about using Steemit and the Steemit blockchain, obviously Bitcoin's got its own blockchain. One of the things I've learned is that over the last 6 months, we seem to be having a bit of a push towards decentralization. Now, I kind of see decentralization of platforms and websites and services very similar to the way that Napster works. If you've ever used Napster or downloaded a BitTorrent, you're grabbing a piece of that torrent, a piece of that file from multiple sources. Well, in the same kind of way, but the reverse is that you're storing bits of your blogs or your content onto a blockchain, and then that blockchain is decentralized in that blockchain exists in lots of different servers worldwide. It's not centralized on one server, it's on lots of different servers, and that blockchain keeps in sync across all those different servers. Therefore, when you access that blockchain from a website or an application, you get the up-to-date version of that blockchain. Now, just recently I've been seeing a lot of a big push towards decentralization, and there is two websites I want to talk about today very, very quickly, and that is DTube and DSound. Now, DTube.video and DSound.audio are both decentralized versions, I guess imitation copy versions of YouTube and SoundCloud. And this is great for people who are just getting into crypto or just getting into the idea of putting video on the web where they can earn micropayment style from a blockchain. Now, I've not seen anything out there for Bitcoin. I don't know if it would work in the same way that Steemit does, because Steem has a very, very fast blockchain. In fact, you can do updates to the Steemit blockchain in about 3.5 seconds. You can send transactions for free to people on the Steemit blockchain. And you can also get paid for blogging and content creation and replies and curation rewards on the blockchain as well. So DTube is a decentralized version of YouTube, very similar to YouTube. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles. It's not as polished, obviously, because YouTube has been around for a decade. But it is an alternative version for people who are looking to put very sensitive content or trying to get around copyright infringement, or just that your advertisers don't want to pay you for your particular style or niche of content. And the same goes for DSound. DSound is a kind of imitation version of SoundCloud, and it actually works and looks a little bit like SoundCloud as well, which is always a good thing, because I really enjoyed the UI of SoundCloud. So just two little websites you should definitely go and check out if you're interested, or you're getting frustrated with YouTube or SoundCloud in any way as an artist or as a creative or somebody who wants to be able to not be censored for sensitive information that you want to put out there on the web. Yeah, that's it. One of my favorite times before actually getting to an event is the pre-processing of all of the assets for an event. So that includes the hardware, the software, the blog posts, the header, the tags, the geolocation, the kind of instructions and the schedule before getting there. All of that stuff I find like really valuable to get done before you get going. And I'm really looking forward to this event in Portugal coming up in the next like 7 to 10 days. And I wrote a post today about what you can do on the ground at an event and how you should go about it. And the fact that I'm doing it like mobile free, laptop free, but mobile, using mobile equipment. So go and check it out. It's on steemit.com/@teamhumble.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.